Good afternoon, honorable members of the subcommittee. I thank you for inviting me here today to discuss the 477 program, a program whose principles could revolutionize the way the United States delivers on its trust and treaty obligations to tribal nations. The bedrock principle of the 477 program is to enable tribes to exercise our inherent sovereignty in our use of our federal funds. The 477 program accomplishes this by streamlining and doing away with the administrative roadblocks and putting more decision-making in the hands of tribal nations. Under the 477 program, a tribe may combine federal funding from programs operated across the 12 federal agencies into one 477 plan by the tribe to weave together the services associated with the integrated programs. The tribe pulls all of the integrated funding and can reallocate it across the services provided in the 477 plan. Through our 477 plan, we can best support our struggling community members' efforts to become self-sufficient. Despite the statutory mandates, some federal agencies have tried to maintain control over the decision-making and monitoring processes within the 477 program. To address these problems, we secured an amendment to the 477 statute in 2017. Yet in 2018, the federal agencies released an MOA that undid much of this work and contradicted the 477 statute. We were forced to wrestle with the government until securing a new MOA in 2022. Since then, the Department of Interior has applied the 477 eligibility criteria as directed by the 477 statute and approved many new programs for integration. Yet issues remain. We believe these issues tie back to federal agency concerns about losing control over the programs that they operate. Many are not accustomed to deferring to tribal sovereignty and relying on tribes to do what is best for our own people. Recently, we submitted a 477 plan amendment to integrate new programs, including 2 programs that are operated by the Department of Justice. On February 26th, DOI approved these programs' integration. Prior to DOI's approval, the DOJ representatives told us that they believed the programs were not eligible. They also said that they had separate legal authority, allowing them to refuse the transfer program funding into our 477 plan. We believe that they were taking the faulty and restrictive position that only programs authorized specifically for employment or training are eligible for inclusion in the 477 plan. The narrow interpretation is not new. Congress set out to make clear that supportive services are covered when it is amended in the statute in 2017, and this restrictive interpretation was an important problem fixed in the MOA. The lived reality is that achieving stability and self-sufficiency often requires wraparound supportive services, and Congress recognized that. But even the bigger problem with the assertion that DOJ had was that they had independent legal authority to refuse transfer funding for a program approved by DOI. Again, Congress made clear that DOI has the exclusive authority to decide a program's 477 eligibility. And protecting the DOI's authority to do this was an important issue addressed in the fixed MOA. Further, the 477 statute makes clear that once DOI approves a program, a federal partner agency is required to transfer program funds to DOI for integration within a set deadline. In closing, we believe there is a significant momentum towards a new way of thinking about expenditure of federal funds by tribal nations. We see the evidence of this in the Executive Order 14112, designed to reform federal funding and promote the next era of tribal self-determination. We believe the foundational principles of the 477 program can serve as a blueprint for this reform. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fred, for your testimony. The chair now recognizes the Honorable Lee Spoonhunter for 5 minutes.